In the realm of British politics, we are witnessing a dramatic unfolding of events that demands our undivided attention. The latest revelations surrounding Keir Starmer and the Labour Party paint a troubling picture, one that reveals a leader struggling to maintain credibility amidst a backdrop of declining support. In a recent BBC interview, Starmer failed to decisively rule out potential tax hikes, raising eyebrows and igniting fury among the British public. This is not merely a political misstep, it is indicative of a broader pattern of evasion and deception that cannot be ignored. Starmer has consistently positioned himself as a figure of integrity and competence, yet his performance during this interview exposed significant cracks in that facade. When pressed about Labour's fiscal plans, he resorted to vague assertions about unforeseen circumstances, referencing the COVID-19 pandemic and the war in Ukraine. This is not the transparency the public demands, it is an attempt to sidestep accountability. The British electorate is not interested in a leader who hides behind ambiguity. They deserve clarity and honesty, especially regarding issues that directly impact their wallets. The discontent with Starmer is palpable, and it is not without justification. With an approval rating of -38, he is not just unpopular, he is a liability to his party. His assertion that "I will be judged at the end of the 5-year term" suggests a dangerous detachment from the immediate concerns of voters. The reality is that the electorate is not willing to wait 5 years for accountability. They want to see results now, not empty promises. Starmer's failure to acknowledge this reality only serves to alienate him further from the very people he seeks to represent. Equally concerning is the Labour Party's response to the economic challenges facing the nation. While Starmer claims to have inherited a real mess, he cannot simply deflect blame onto his predecessors. Leadership is not about playing the blame game, it is about taking decisive action. The current economic climate demands bold strategies, yet Labour's reluctance to commit to a clear fiscal plan is indicative of a party that is out of touch. The public is tired of politicians who speak in riddles. They want leaders who make difficult choices and stand by them, not those who hedge their bets in the face of adversity. Starmer's prevarication on tax hikes is particularly troubling. He stated that it is not his plan to impose more tax increases, yet he could not categorically deny that unforeseen circumstances might force a change in that stance. This lack of commitment is not just politically naive, it is a direct affront to the electorate's trust. Voters are right to question whether Starmer will revert to higher taxes if it suits his party's agenda, particularly if he finds himself in a tight spot economically. The British public is not looking for a leader who is willing to adapt their principles to fit the moment. They want a leader who stands firm on their convictions. The fallout from this interview extends beyond Starmer's credibility. It raises critical questions about Labour's overall strategy and its ability to regain public trust. If the party continues to waver and fails to deliver a compelling vision for the future, it risks becoming irrelevant. The political landscape is shifting, and the electorate is increasingly drawn to alternatives that promise clarity and decisiveness. Reform UK, under Nigel Farage, is capitalising on Labour's missteps, gaining momentum at a time when the traditional parties are faltering. As we delve deeper into the geopolitical landscape, it is essential to recognise the implications of weak leadership at home. The recent warnings from British defence officials about the escalating situation in Ukraine highlight the precariousness of our national security. If Labour cannot even manage the domestic economy without resorting to half-hearted assurances, how can they be trusted to navigate the complexities of international relations? The public deserves leaders who are not only competent in domestic affairs but also capable of securing the nation's interests abroad. The stakes could not be higher. The electorate is demanding clarity, accountability, and a commitment to the principles of good governance. Starmer's failure to deliver on these fronts is not just a personal failing, it is a failure of the Labour Party as a whole. If the party does not course-correct rapidly, it risks losing its place in the political discourse entirely. In conclusion, we stand at a critical juncture in British politics. The public is growing increasingly disillusioned with leadership that prioritises political expediency over honesty. Keir Starmer must recognise that the electorate is not interested in crafted narratives or vague promises, they want transparency and decisive action. If Labour cannot meet these expectations, they may very well find themselves relegated to the sidelines as new contenders step into the void they leave behind. The time for action is now, and the British public deserves nothing less than a commitment to genuine leadership.